Alright, good morning. My name's Aria. I'm going to talk to you guys about the Aurora Choir by Aria sounds. So I wanted to do this video for three reasons. First one is I'd had it for a while and hadn't really touched it, just because it was kind of foreign, because I hadn't really used it, and wanted an excuse to actually learn how to use it. Number two, because Aria Sounds is not a very big company, and so they don't have many people doing reviews of their stuff, and I was fortunate enough to get it for like $38 Australian when it normally goes for like $400 American. So yeah, I got it being like, it doesn't really matter if this sucks. I didn't pay anything for it, but other people I'm sure would like to actually hear it. And thirdly was, out of the reviews that I did see, they were either very clearly paid for, like it was so scripted, or like they were just overtly negative ones. And I don't think it deserves the hate. It's not the best library ever, but I think it is good, and I don't think that those people were giving it a fair shot. Alright, so I played a piece, which I'm going to play for you now, and then after that, we can talk about it, and yes. Right. So that was the little piece I wrote. And I think it sounds pretty sick. The choir, that is. So I guess we'll talk about, it's clearly a choir that's meant to do big, grand, sort of, these things. Star Wars kind of like opera kind of thing. It doesn't do choirs very well. And if that's what you're getting it for, don't. It won't help you. It's an epic choir one, and that's kind of what it's for. If you're not going to use it for that, then it's going to be bad. You wouldn't expect, like, Hans Zimmer percussion to do some really small, like, jazz Latin sort of style, because that's not what it's for. Anyway, so the other cool parts, besides obviously the sound, is this thing. You can change the legato length. Yeah, there's not much legato there. Yeah, it's cool that you can adjust that. I mean, you can do that in most libraries. But this one, the legato volume, is not something that's very seen. And so when you get it onto max, it's not very musical. You can hear how it sounds a bit dumb, but I actually use that to my advantage here. I wanted to try and make it sound dumb and work. So you can see it's the same for the alto, that I've just got the legato volume at almost full, length super big, and they sort of slide up there. And no other instrument is doing a slide, but it sort of sounds like the brass is sliding, and sounds like the strings are doing it and stuff. Of course, these just alone sound like this. But it takes just them to sort of... Yeah, I think that it's cool. I think that at that level, it's kind of going over the top, but it works, and it's a cool feature to have. The third thing that I thought was really cool about it is this. So you can change the speed at which you want the shorts to actually work. So that doesn't matter because we're in the sequence mode, which is also very cool. But if you look here, and I get the speed super short. No, I didn't want them like staccato, but it's cool that you can do that. That's a good feature. In this thing too, you can do this thing here called sequence steps. So you can actually choose how many words they say. So they're just going to repeat these the whole time. So I didn't have to write out all of these doing these 4 that I chose there. It's just going to get to that 4th one, and it's going to repeat. Now I've kind of stuffed it up because I played so many times. But so yeah, it's always going to start on that tear as it goes round, which sort of makes it more realistic, because you're not going to have 24 different random syllables sung by a choir. They're going to repeat, or they're going to say words or something, but if you can't say words, they're at least going to say stuff in a musical phrase. There are a lot of things to choose from. Again, it's just random syllables, so I don't think it really matters, but it's cool that they have it. And thirdly, it's cool that there's this thing here. You can change between which articulation you want up here. Although, as far as I'm aware, you can't change the legato length. Alright, so now the cons. It's very clear that this choir, as I showed you just before, it doesn't do shorts. It doesn't do quiet and intimate. It only does the really, in your face. That's the modulation all the way down. Up. All the way down. Like, the alto is a bit better. When you... it's a tiny bit better, but it's kind of like still loud, but not really. Other thing was, I didn't find that the modulation really did much at all. It does change the timbre, but like the volume between this, which was another thing that people disliked, volume between this compared to something like this, that's not even changing, that's just going from register. Which to an extent I like, because it makes it more realistic, because this note at the top of their register in a soprano's voice is going to be much, much louder, even singing at their quietest dynamic, than their loudest on their lowest note. Because that's just how the human voice works. Although I think they could have made it a bit more playable. Like I said, I don't hate that they do that, because it's more realistic, but it's kind of sucky. And the other part, which was annoying, besides the other, is the shorts are super laggy. So I've got here you can see, up in this corner over here, I've got minus 38 milliseconds track delay. And even with that, I still had to nudge the parts forward just to be on the... I could have, of course, moved this even more of a pre-delay, but it kind of... These timings in the lower notes... These timings with the higher notes and the higher velocities. So it kind of went out anyway. I couldn't quantize it. So anyway, that's the review. I like the library. I think it's good. I don't think it's worth $400, but if it ever goes on sale again, sure, why not get it? But thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.